morning, everyone. Please rise body or spirit. This is St. Melanie Moore's Hold Everybody Up. Gotta hold everybody. You gotta hold everybody up. You gotta hold everybody. You gotta hold everybody up. Hold everybody up. Up, up. Hold everybody up. Up, up. Hold everybody up. Up, up. Hold everybody up. Just because you look like you and I look like me doesn't mean we can't be friends. You're not my enemy. You gotta hold everybody. You gotta hold everybody up. You gotta hold everybody. You gotta hold everybody up. Hold everybody up. Up, up. Hold everybody up. Up, up. Hold everybody up. Up, up. Hold everybody up. People all around the world sometimes feel so sad. But when others show they care, then things won't feel so bad. You gotta hold everybody. You gotta hold everybody up. You gotta hold everybody. You gotta hold everybody up. Hold everybody up. Up, up. Hold everybody up. Up, up. Hold everybody up. Up, up. Hold everybody up.
Good morning. Welcome to our service. Whether you're here with us on Zoom or here in person, we are glad that you're here. I am Andy Cramer, one of your worship associates this morning. It's become an annual tradition for the worship associates to plan and offer a service. Our topic this morning is flourishing. But don't worry, if you really want to minister, Reverend Lucy Bunch is also here. And of course, we have our music director, Anthony Tavianini, and pianist Irina Tchantceva. If you're new to UUSS, we extend a special welcome. We're glad that you are with us today. Please fill out a newcomer's card so that we can connect with you. You can do so using the link on our website or at the welcome table after the service. If you'd like a copy of the order of service, a printed copy is on the table in the back by the doors, or on Zoom, just click on the link. The Blue Sheet weekly calendar of activities is also available. Note that we also have large print versions of the order of service and the slides for this morning that are on the back table. Our What's Happening at UUSS email comes out every other Friday during the summer. You can find it on our website and subscribe to it there. It has a minister's message, news and announcements of events, and lots of helpful information. I'd like to highlight a few upcoming activities that are listed on the Blue Sheet. After the service today, the People of Color Caucus will host a discussion of the film Rustin and the themes of Juneteenth. That will be in classrooms 7 and 8. All are welcome. Also, after the service today, Reverend Lucy will be leading a session of exploring Unitarian Universalism. The topic today is UU history and theology. This is a great way for newcomers or long-timers to learn about Unitarian Universalism. It will be held in the Foz room on the other side of the patio. And lastly, for those of you online this morning, after the service, there will be a breakout room for conversation. Here on campus, you can check out the connections table in the welcome hall and enjoy refreshments and conversation on the patio.
Good morning, I'm Celia Buckley, one of the 7 worship associates here today, and here to do the chalice lighting, and lighting our chalice today is Richard Davis Lowell. Today's chalice words come from the Reverend Deborah Falk. She is a retired UU minister from British Columbia. A chalice lit in our midst is a symbol of our liberal faith, a faith built on the foundation of freedom, reason, and tolerance, a faith sustained by acts of kindness and justice, a faith that visions a world flourishing with equality for all her people, a faith that demands the living out of goodness, a faith that requires thoughtfulness, a faith of wholeness. This tiny flame is the symbol of the spark of all this within each of us.
For those of you who don't know me, I'm the Reverend Lucy Bunch, exiled from the chancel today. Please join me. Oh, I'm sorry. Next, we're going to light our candle of compassion and resistance. In this ritual, we recognize the times in which we live, times of disruption and anxiety in this country and in our world, when cruelty is on display and so many are in danger. Our values call us to compassion and resistance. As we kindle this flame, let its light inspire us to bear witness to human decency, dignity, freedom, and the power of love. So may it be.
It's that time. There's an in-between somewhere. It's that time where we welcome all those involved in the Summer RE to make their way out towards the welcome hall for the adventure that awaits today. And of course, it wouldn't be that time unless you helped us in singing your song. You gotta hold everybody. Both Melanie DeMore songs, you get them, they're kind of back and forth. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Don't give up hope. Don't give up hope. You're not alone. You're not alone. Don't you give up. Don't you give up. Keep moving on. Keep moving on. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love and hold everybody up.
Good morning. All right. My name is Connor Lane, worship associate. As a parent, there are no two words in the world more wonderful than these. Free childcare. I dabbled in Unitarian Universalism several years ago when my wife and I lived in Portland, but at that point in my life, church was a lower priority than a Sunday morning Seattle Seahawks game or a brunch reservation. But in 2024, I had begun to feel a little spiritually adrift. I had known about UUSS for several months, but I couldn't figure out how to attend a service as a parent, or as the parent of a then 3-year-old who would have a few opinions about being asked to sit silently for an hour. The solution? Free childcare. On the surface, the nursery at UUSS provides a safe atmosphere, a playroom chock full of toys, and a playground out back that is quite solid. But to me, it also represents something more profound, a physical manifestation of UU values. Because childcare was available, I was able to come to my first service. At that service, Andy Cramer delivered a reflection about his transition from Catholic to agnostic to UU faithful. And speaking as a fellow lapsed Catholic turned agnostic, in search of something a little bit deeper, I immediately felt seen. I felt the pull. At the information table, I was informed of the nascent young adults group run by Eric and Emily, and after being assured that 31 was not, in fact, too old to be a young adult, I endeavored to attend the next meeting. Though unfortunately it's been many months since I've been able to make it, those first few young adult meetings I did attend were essential for building new friendships and for spreading my roots into the community. It was through my association with the young adults that my name got circulated as a candidate for the yearly Wild and Precious Life service. It was my participation at that service that got my name circulated again, this time as a potential worship associate. And here I am today, almost a year into a role that I'm incredibly proud of. I am flourishing here, but I'm only flourishing because of a structure that was put in place for someone like me, the parent of a young child, to even be able to attend in the first place. And because childcare was offered, I felt welcome before I even walked in the door. And that right there is beloved community.
Good morning. I'm Dawn Huebner. When Lou and I decided to move to California, this was 4 years ago, we looked only at towns with UU churches. Davis, Ventura, San Jose, Santa Barbara. There's 76 towns with UU churches in California. We were able to narrow things down, knowing we wanted a fiscally healthy church, mid-sized to large, with at least one full-time minister, in an area with variable weather and houses we could afford. Sacramento ticked all the boxes. We'd been members of a UU church in New Hampshire and knew from experience that church would be the center of our lives. A place to find community, a sense of purpose, and spiritual renewal. These were the things we knew we would need as we made our way across the country to begin this new chapter of our lives. Shortly after arriving, we met with Roger and Lucy to talk about where and how to jump into church life. Among other things, I proposed reviving the Caring Committee, which hadn't existed as an organized group for many years. Raise your hand if you or a family member have been on the receiving end of a Caring Committee call, card, or delivery of soup. For those of you lucky enough not to raise your hand, the Caring Committee is a group of volunteers who reach out to congregants in times of need, when there's a death in the family, a major surgery, or a daunting new diagnosis. This is a large congregation, so there's a limit to the practical help we can provide, but expressions of care, in whatever form they take, really do matter. Lou and I were on the receiving end of that care last year when I was diagnosed with breast cancer. From the initial announcement in Joys and Sorrows through a double mastectomy 6 weeks later, we were wrapped in UUSS love and support. Some of it came from the Caring Committee. More of it came from the wider UUS community. There were cards that filled our mantle, many from people we barely knew. Meals were made and delivered. A former cardiac nurse who happens to be up here with me was there 2 days after my surgery. She was there to help and didn't blink when I unwrapped my bandages for the first time, allowing me to take in the new landscape of my body in a much calmer way than would otherwise have been possible. Another nurse friend stayed for a few hours while I was still really sick, giving Lou a much-needed break. Someone came and weeded our garden. People shopped for food. Even though I had just lost part of my body, 2 parts, if you want to be technical, I felt whole in a way I hadn't expected, like I was truly part of this community where we care about one another and for one another, giving each other the support we need to truly flourish together.
please join me in opening our hearts to the joys and sorrows of this community and our occasions of gratitude and requests for prayer. You may let us know of your news by clicking the link to the joys and sorrows in the Friday email, and you can let us know there if you would like us to include your news in the service. Nedra Moore would appreciate some supportive thought for their cousin Bonnie, who is having surgery on July 1st, and another cousin, Roville, who is being treated for liver and lung cancer. We send our prayers to their family members. We send wishes for ease and comfort to Jim Chiquitas, who is the partner of our member, Jan Fleming. Jim is in the last days of his life, nearing the end of a brief and very painful ordeal with cancer. We send our love to Jim and Jan. Ashley Hamrick shares the joy that husband Paul Moore has just had his left knee replaced. This is the third joint replacement in 7 months. Thank you all for your support and prayers during this past year. Longtime UUSS member Fran Clark died last week at the age of 87. She'd been a member for 48 years. Fran was a retired arborist with the Sacramento Tree Foundation. She was an active participant in our TED's Web weekly discussion group and a friendly presence on most Sundays. Fran's children invite you to celebrate her life on August 2nd at 2 p.m. here at UUSS. On Wednesday, Venezuela was hit by a pair of back-to-back earthquakes. There are currently over 50,000 missing and almost 1,000 dead, with that number predicted to rise. International volunteers from Mexico, the United States, El Salvador, Switzerland, Colombia, and beyond are already working tirelessly in search and rescue operations, with additional support from the United Nations on its way. In the face of calamity, we look for the helpers. Let us pray for the loved ones of the lost and for the safety of those yet to be found. It's been over 2 weeks since the World Cup started in the United States, Mexico, and Canada. And despite the myriad imperfections of FIFA as an organization and the global disruption caused by this administration, let's share in the joy of what legendary Brazilian footballer Pelé called the beautiful game. During a time when international cooperation seems to be waning, it's gratifying to see Mexican fans joyfully lifting up a South Korean visitor above their shoulders for a crowd surf, or to read a news story about Scottish fans' benevolent takeover of the city of Boston. In one day, drinking 3 times the beer in an Irish pub as was consumed on St. Patrick's Day. May we be sustained by the joy that comes when the lines between nations are blurred and when our shared humanity is centered. Today's prayer is from the Reverend Michelle Collins. Spirit of life, source of all that grows, we know in our better moments that we were not made for isolation. We were made for this: the turned face, the open door, the willingness to say, I see you, and mean it. Flourishing together is harder than it sounds. It asks us to stay when leaving is easier, to listen when speaking feels more urgent, to trust that what we built between us matters even when the results are slow, even when the harvest is not yet what we planted for. Hold us to that harder, better path. Remind us that the flourishing of each person is bound up in the flourishing of all. May we be here for one another and for the conditions in which something good can grow. Let us take a brief moment of silence to settle and reflect. Blessed be.
myriad to join in singing together one more step. One more step, we will take one more step, till there is peace for us, and everyone will take one more step. One more word, we will say one more word, till every word is heard, like everyone will take one more word. One more prayer, we will say one more prayer, till every prayer is shared, like everyone will say one more prayer. One more song, we will sing one more song, till every song is sung, by everyone will sing one more song.
Most Sunday mornings, I gather with you here, as I've been doing for the last 4 years. The act of gathering in community while exploring the breadth of spirituality is powerful for me. But to be honest, I don't have a great memory, so I often can't remember a movie that I watched the night before. But I do remember the services that stay with me, or even parts of a service. A song, a reflection, a single sentence of a prayer or homily. I remember them because they left their mark and changed me in small but perceptible ways. Here are a few that I remember. I've considered myself an agnostic for most of my adult life. Then about a year ago, Reverend Roger preached on religious humanism. Aha, that's what I am. Religious humanists reject the supernatural and focus on improving human life and finding meaning in the natural world. Or the service that Reverend Roger did last fall, Why Can't I Fix It?, about loving someone with addiction. There are 2 people in my life who are actively struggling with addiction, so my thoughts return to that service often as I consider how I can be present and supportive of them while maintaining boundaries for myself. Last month, Reverend Lucy had us all dancing in the sanctuary. I love to dance, and happy that I get the chance to do it fairly often. It's an experience of joy for me, but now I recognize that dancing is also an act of building resistance in challenging times. A few Sundays ago, we held our flower communion service. I've been a UU for more than 20 years now, so sometimes these annual rituals can feel a little stale. But I was moved by the simple ritual of exchanging a flower while expressing hope in the phrase, "May you blossom here." That act of welcoming and encouragement was especially powerful in the context of welcoming nearly 30 new members to our congregation. The power of these experiences is amplified because they happen in community, together here on Sunday morning. A bit of inspiration here, a new perspective there, each changing me in small ways. But those small changes have been happening for years now, leaving me better for it. To flourish is to grow, to thrive, or to prosper. That's it. I'm flourishing here. And I'm grateful to have found this place to do so.
I was born when my sister Connie was 4.5 years old. For Connie, my arrival wasn't a joy. It was a disappointment. She liked being an only child, and she particularly hated sharing a room with me. For decades, that was the basis of our relationship: friction, distance, and eventually my heavy sense of codependency. Connie left for college and a career when I was in the 8th grade. After a series of life disappointments, Connie returned to Sacramento 30 years later and was lonely. I felt responsible for her. Somewhat reluctantly, I pulled her into my personal life and my UU community, but she remained on the fringes, present but not engaged. Life brings the unexpected, and it started with our mother's cat. We moved Mom into assisted living due to dementia, and Mom's cat, Winston, developed diabetes. Connie and I shared the tedious duty of giving Winston his twice-a-day insulin. Ultimately, I swapped out Mom's diabetic sick cat with a look-alike healthy cat, named Winston too, who still lives there in assisted living. Mom died in 2016. Connie surprised me. She continued visiting Mom several times a week. And after Mom was placed on hospice, Connie began meeting regularly with the hospice chaplain, who happened to be a UU minister. Connie subsequently found her own way to UUSS around 2015. For the first time, she wasn't Celia's sister. She was Connie. She joined the choir, volunteered for Theater One, and built her own circle of friends. Seeing Connie thrive independently was an unexpected benefit I receive from this UU community. It eased my anxiety and helped me begin to see Connie in a new light, not as my burden to manage, but as a whole person. 2020 COVID isolation was hard on all of us. Connie retreated back into isolation, her health declined, and she never returned to UUSS. She was diagnosed with cancer and died in 2023. This UU community supported me with love and care. UUSS embraced me in my grief, and they honored my sister's life. No other place in our lives had ever held both of us in this way. I've realized that this community didn't just help me cope with my sister, it gave both Connie and me the space to finally find some acceptance, peace, and even love for one another. What a gift this UU community has been in my life and has helped me flourish.
Generosity is a spiritual practice. Our congregation has a practice of giving away half of every Sunday's offering to an organization working hard to make a difference in the world. Our partner for the month of June is Opening Doors. Since 1993, Opening Doors has been accompanying and supporting immigrants, refugees, and survivors of trafficking on the path to stability, self-sufficiency, and belonging. The journey of these newcomers is complicated, exhausting, and often dangerous. Here's an example. When Carmen, a survivor of labor trafficking, connected with Opening Doors, she struggled to speak about what she had endured and found it difficult to trust others. Through patient, trauma-informed support, her caseworker created a safe environment where Carmen could begin to rebuild a sense of safety and confidence. With help from Opening Doors, she was able to access mental health services, secure stable housing, and connect with immigration legal support, all while working toward greater independence. Carmen attended English as a second language classes and obtained her driver's license, helping her move toward long-term stability and self-sufficiency. Carmen's journey demonstrates how coordinated support services can help survivors heal, regain stability, and move forward with dignity and hope. Thank you for your generosity to UUSS and our community partner, Opening Doors. This morning's offering will now be given and received. As the ushers come forward, please join me in blessing the offering. May generosity bless our world and may gratitude nourish our spirits.
Good morning. My name is Eric Gudz, and my pronouns are he and they. All right, so there I was. It was about 7:45 in the evening, and the ferocious sunlight, quite charming really, of the late Sacramento evening finally settled into sunset. Ah, the cool evening at last. I was at the zoo after hours with our very own UUSS young adult group. Sunset, snacks, and some seriously good times with some fantastic people. Highly recommend. We had just finished admiring a magnificent roar of a resident lion, along with the silliness of a giraffe licking a 20-foot metal barn door with an equally absurdly long tongue. It was weird. When we happened upon the classical carousel, free for adult night. As we looked around at each other, I remember slowing down around those few seconds as we decided if we were going to go for it and ride the carousel or not. Almost immediately, the most enthusiastic of the bunch peeled off and got in line. They knew in their hearts the second they saw that carousel. Watching them run off, I paused and felt a swell of joy in my heart for this moment of fun we could all share together. Joy. Admittedly, a feeling in shorter supply these days, but now one that I'll remember and cherish for a long time. The rest of us shortly followed, and we even called upon our missing companion to join us right before it got started. We left our worries and inhibitions at the old rusty gates as we selected our animal rides and watched our last companion hop on. It had been a few decades. I went with the baboon. As part of the UUSS Young Adults group, I have felt moments of sheer joy, comfort, and belonging that had simply felt out of place and out of reach in years past. And I am so honored to be building friendship and collective community with all of them. Seeing the group grow and flourish over the years has been both exciting and grounding for me as we all navigate these unprecedented times together. Past surviving and even just thriving, I feel a genuine solidarity with our UUSS young adults, as so many of us are working tirelessly through our own vocations to build a more compassionate and restorative world. This gives me courage, simply beyond measure. Yeah, we're flourishing, all right. And I am so grateful for the congregation for nurturing this new bunch. And it's been an honor to flourish and forge ahead together with such collective resolve. Needless to say, I am overjoyed and determined to see where this hopeful journey will go. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Jenni Gouine. In late 2019, my father had a heart attack. The procedure to mitigate the damage from the heart attack caused a stroke. A year later, he was diagnosed with white matter disease. And a year after that, the diagnosis was refined to vascular dementia, a condition with no cure. His newest diagnosis is cachexia, or a progressive, incurable wasting away. Yesterday, I went to see him, and I had to push him to talk because he prefers to use gestures, which require less energy. My father and I have never been very close, so it's been somewhat awkward over the last few years, as I have had to hold a greater presence in his life than, truthfully, I think either of us really wanted. In many ways, this journey has felt like watching, and often participating in, a very sad, slow plane crash. One of my deepest fears is that I will inevitably end my days as he is. But Coming to UUSS has been a balm to all of that sadness and strain. Seeing people, seeing you, some of you in your 80s and even 90s, thriving and living our shared values. Working together to create this beloved community and taking that love and radiating it out in action to help our hurting world has helped keep me going. This sentiment was echoed to me by another member of our community who was living a far more difficult situation. I said that it was good to see them here, and they replied that this is their home. This is where they are nourished. A year or two ago, Doug Kraft spoke to us about webs and the webs that we are all embedded within, both as our individual selves and collectively as a church community. We navigate the world in these webs deeply and constantly connected. I think about that web concept often and how grateful I am to have added UUSS to my web and to have been added by UUSS to its web, to our web, a mutual webbing, if you will. Today's service is about flourishing at UUSS, and we've heard really heartfelt connections with concrete, meaningful examples. I think at the moment, my emotions are too clouded by my dad's situation to discern and share with you how I individually feel that I am flourishing. But I come here, spend time in, and be nourished by this web, because UUSS is a place for all of us to flourish.
Let's rise in body and spirit together, singing this joy that I have, this joy that I have. The world didn't give it to me, this joy that I have. The world didn't give it to me, this joy that I have. The world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, the world can't
As we extinguish our flames, please join me in speaking our shared intention. May the power of this gathering light our way forward with courage. In the days to come, let us remember that fear is outworked by hope and that hatred is no match for the power of love.
Please reach out to us as we reach out to you. May you find a way to flourish here, knowing that you are welcome and that what you need matters. May you look around you and see that there are others on this journey too. May you extend a hand when you can and receive the hands offered to you. And in the words of Reverend Tandy Rogers, may your joy ripple outwards. May your flourishing be communal, mutual, and contagious. Blessed be, and amen.